What is going on, Governor Chisgule here, and today we're going to be talking about the VIP special privilege chests and whether or not they're good value. And I think I might have just convinced myself to unlock Minamoto's expertise skill. Are we going to do that today? Oh man. If you like bleeding edge content, you should totally like and subscribe because we've got a ton of spending guides coming, both for real money and in game currency. And it is important to mention that we are sponsored by the makers of Rise of Civilizations. Now, with that said, how do you know that my guidance is worth following when I'm sponsored by the makers of Rise of Civilizations? What I like to do when I advise on spending is I compare to the equivalent of purchasing these things in the VIP shop. And I want to be really transparent around how I do this analysis. I've got a bunch of other videos where I cover this in depth, but I essentially look in the VIP shop and I try to compare to the most advantageous purchase price equivalent that I can find in here. And it is worth mentioning that although I'm not VIP 13 yet, that's a long ways away for me. It costs, I believe, about 2,000 gems for the Legendary Commander sculpture at that tier. Now, this is important because what I'm going to show on the screen in just a moment is a chart illustrating the equivalent value of what it would take to buy the items contained within the VIP chests inside of the VIP shop. And so I'm going to put this chart on the screen now, and there's a whole bunch of stuff here, so I'm going to explain that it contains all of the things that are included in the VIP chests and the gem equivalent value for purchasing each tier of the VIP chest all the way up to VIP level 10. Now, it's worth noticing that at the lower tiers for this chest, and even at the higher tiers, you get the equivalent of a lot of gems per dollar that you spent. And that is largely because you're getting so many of these sculptures. It's actually pretty remarkable. They call it special privilege, and in a lot of ways, they deliver on that. The thing that is, I think, less exciting about that, and I want to be really transparent, is that although a chest like this $100 chest is really exciting because you're getting 270 sculptures, when you get to this point, that's only actually like 3 or 4 skill ups on the commander. Like, you're not actually getting that many more skills. So, finishing off these commanders is only giving you a small amount of edge compared to what you had before. But because I'm all in on cavalry, and because the calculations look really favorable, actually, if I take a glance at the chart here, the VIP 9 special privilege chest, which I'm showing here, contains what I would argue is 590,000 or so gems of value, and that's about almost 6,000 gems per dollar that you spend. And when you look at all the other places that you can spend money in this game, and in particular, and I like to compare to the supply depot, if you can be very, very patient, you get about 22,000 gems for, I believe it's $10. So this is better gems per dollar spent than even the 30-day gem supply, which is arguably the best in the game. So, all of that said, we're going to go in and we're actually going to buy some of these VIP chests and we're going to unlock the expertise skill on Minamoto. We're doing it. This is a big day. We're going to pay $100 and we'll be right back after we pay. All right. We are back. Our purchase has been made. Acquired. Here we go. 270 Minamoto sculptures. Wow. All right. All right. We're doing it. Let's skill this guy up. I'm actually really excited about this. A part of the reason I'm so interested in Minamoto is because he's a barbarian hunting commander, and I want to get as far as I possibly can in the Karok ceremony, so I'm in. I'm in on the plan. We're going to get a bunch of these upgrades. My hope is actually that Warlord gets leveled up a whole heck of a lot. That is incredibly powerful. So let's see. Awesome. Cavalry boost. Love it. Next up, Barbarian damage. Next up, Barbarian damage. All right, so theoretically, we should be able to get this to 4. I don't think that's going to be the case, actually. I think my theory was wrong. Theory proven wrong. But we are going to get it to 3, which I feel pretty good about. All right. We're going to head over to the shop. We're going to make one more purchase, and then we're going to go take this guy for a test drive, which I'm so excited about. Bada boom. We have done it. The $50 chest purchased. There we go. New items received. There it is. 150 more sculptures. I think we're going to have like 25 left over. Let's unlock our first legendary expertise skill. Yes. Here we go. Oh, no sculptures left over, by the way. Exacxies. How about that? Bada boom. And bada boom. Here it is. Expertise skill. Legendary. Yes. This legendary expertise skill makes it so that instead of a 50% chance to do extra damage per second, he gets a 75% chance, a 25% lift to that extra damage. Feeling really good about that. Oh my goodness. All right, my friends. I'm going to take Kusunoki for a spin with his good friend Cao Cao, who's looking mighty buff himself, sitting at 5532. Let's give this a shot against some level 25 barbarians, and I will be right back, and we'll look at the battle reports. All right, time to smack around some barbarians. Level 25s. Let's see how this goes. It should go real fast. Watch the size of this nuke. 9,000? Alright, that's reasonable. I suppose the expertise skill, or I guess it's his 4th skill, needs to proc for that to get really exciting. Boom. Dunsky. Let's go compare the reports. In the first report, before we had unlocked the expertise skill, we took 175,000 troops, and we had 100 and about 59,000 remaining. If we take a look at this new report, we've got about the same amount of troops remaining. Well, I suppose that's not the biggest endorsement of this expertise skill. Let's get a look here. The number of severely wounded is about the same. The number of slightly wounded is about the same. Well, my friends, how much better is it? I suppose we need to be battling a tougher opponent for a longer period of time to really feel the difference. It's worth mentioning that a lot of these skills are percentage based. So we've got a 75% chance to do extra damage. We've got a 10% chance to do 30% extra damage. This Warlord passive skill, maybe it went off in the first one and not the second one, which is why it's hard to tell the difference here. I'm going to test this guy out, and we're going to see whether or not this was worth $150, because you could spend much less than that to max out the first 2 skills if you wanted to, and have a pretty freaking fierce Minamoto. All right, we've got a rally going now. This is a mixed rally of tier 4 and a little bit of tier 3 and less. And we're going to see sort of how much damage we can do to a barbarian for it. We'll try this again with all cavalry to compare. And it's worth noting here that this barbarian hut is outside of our flags. So I would assume that we're not getting the bonus that we might normally get for being within our flags, because I assume that works against barbarian huts. So let's see how amazing 100% damage to barbarians is on this nuke. 12,900, 30,000. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Dude, the whole screen is shaking. It's doing so much damage. 27,000 damage. Pretty solid. Feel pretty good about the amount of damage we're doing here. We started this rally with 925,000 units, and we'll see how many we end with. I'm going to guess it's north of 650, which seems decent. Looks like we got a little reinforcement coming to the rally here. Why not? Why not? All right, we're back with another T5 rally. We've got 925,000 troops, and we're going to smash this barbarian fort. And I said I was running a test, so I got all kinds of people who want to reinforce the rally partway through, which is kind of cool. So you can see some big hits here, and it doesn't exactly represent a normal situation. Although, I don't know, good to know that a whole lot more folks than are in the rally would attend if they could. Size of this nuke, 32,000. Oh, yeah, that's some damage. So I think a part of that is that this rally has more cavalry in it, and a part of that is that we're on Alliance territory. That is a lot of damage. This rally even has some T3 in it, by the way, so it's doing pretty darn well overall, all things considered. Still has some pretty solid nukes. Hey, the rally's been reinforced. Back to full strength. In comes the smash. Okay, so I think I might have figured out why it is that even though I now have 20% more damage to barbarians, and I have a maximum of 100% from these two commanders and their skills, that the damage felt like only an incremental boost. And that's in part because, yes, they're percentage based, but also because the boost is additive, not multiplicative. It's not like I'm multiplying what I was doing before by an additional 20%. And because, my cavalry damage went up a little bit, that's multiplying by an additional percent. What I think is happening, and the reason it's not such a huge jump, is that we're just adding an additional percent to a multiplication factor that was already here. All that to say, I think that the expertise skill is a solid incremental boost, but not totally life-changing. And if you've already got your Minamoto with the first and second skill maxed, or some combination of those things, actually, optimally the first skill maxed, but then the rest could be a combination, then I think you're really in quite good shape to use him, and you'll experience a lot of the value that you'd expect to get out of him. I'm pretty happy still with the purchase that I made because I do really want to be able to bring you the bleeding edge content, the very toughest stuff that we can fight. I want to slay. So I want every edge that I can get, and here I'll take it. I think that concludes our analysis of the VIB packs and whether or not the expertise skill is worth it. I'm really excited. I think that for tougher targets, and I'm especially excited to see kind of how this goes in PvP. I'm really glad to have the additional edge that I've obtained, and I'll be eager to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please do like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.